Today, on Understanding the Times, got a big question that was sent in to us. What happens when my wife makes more money than me? We'll be right back on Understanding the Times. Men today are being pressured in so many ways, and Christian men are no different. That is why we establish Understanding the Times, where we can help Christian men understand what God is saying to us and how we can navigate through these days of stress. So join me at Manlike Radio as we speak of Understanding the Times. Well, hello once again, and welcome to Understanding the Times. I am your host, Richard Boyd. We're talking today of a question that came in. In fact, actually, it came in a few weeks ago. It said this very simple: what happens if my wife makes more money than me? Well, let me read to you Proverbs 14:1 first of all, and then I'll kind of go along that way. The wise woman builds her house, but foolishness with her own hands tears it down. So, first of all, let me just say something is this. The most important thing that we need to understand as men, where women make more money than us, is, now let me just say, considering, get this out, all things being equal. In other words, as long as it's not abusive, as long as the guy doesn't want to work and the woman is just out there laboring herself, let's just talk about a man who is faithfully in a job, but his wife who's working makes more money than him. I'll go one step further. I knew a pastor, friend of mine many years ago, where his wife worked at home long before all this other stuff started about working at home, but she worked at home in a business out of her garage, and she made 3 times what he made. She paid off their house, she bought him cars, and I could keep going on. She was the one. Now, nobody has a problem in marrying a woman where her father has millions. No one really has a problem over that. Not saying you shouldn't go out, guys, and work, but responsibility is the most important thing. We still are responsible as men when it comes to taking care of our homes. Even if our wife makes more, which is a good thing, providing, again, like I'm saying, there's no hostility or jealousy involved, it's a good thing. Proverbs again 14:1, the wise woman builds her house, but foolishness with her own hands tears it down. Doesn't mean physically building a house, even though my wife has helped me, or years ago we built a house in many ways, helped the contractors physically. But what it means is that she establishes a house. Now listen, I know there's some of you men out there that are from the old school, and you say, well, a woman's place is in the home. Not really so, but yes, at the same time, yes, in the respect that some women like to stay home. My wife was a homemaker, but she worked more at home than if she went to a job. She took care of everything, clean, so forth and so on. So yes, I understand that. But let's also add this in. Today, many women make more than men. Today, many women are working. What about if a man is sick and can't get out of the bed and the woman has to go and work, or he's invalid and so forth and so on, or a woman by herself, even though we're dealing with a man at home? So is it wrong for a man to make less than his wife? No, because we still have a responsibility as men to take care of our families, even if your wife makes more. So that means she saves the money and I pay the bills. I know many men who do that. But at the same time, I know many women who make such good money, they continue to press in, pay some of the bills, but they and the husband work together. Proverbs 31:16, she considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hand, she plants a vineyard. So that means a woman can get out there and work. Yes, Proverbs is very slick in that. Very, very slick in respecting that Solomon knew that women had to work at times. Well, let's go one more, because some of you say, well, that's in the Old Testament. Well, let's take the New Testament, guys. Titus 2:4. And train your young women to love their husbands and their children. See? Train them. What has that got to do with a woman making more? Well, if a woman realizes that the money's not coming in, most likely she'll get out there and make money because she wants to love her husband and her children. I know of a minister many years ago in another country, still know him now, who lives in another country that I went into minister. I won't call the name of the country, but his wife was a very high important nurse in the hospital, and he pastored the church. Was he working? Yes, he was a minister, but she made 3 times his salary. She looked after many things in the house, as long as he had freedom to go out there and minister. I remember one time sitting down with them and talking with them when I went to the country to minister in their church. And I said to them, I said, well, your husband makes less than you. She said, why can't I go out and make money so my husband can work for God? So let's wrap it up. we have a responsibility regardless. We as men have a responsibility, whether our wives makes more or less, to go forth and still look after our families. But there's nothing wrong with a woman, especially if she knows how to run money, working, okay, and the man making less. There really isn't, provided there is no, again, animosity, anger, hurt, jealous, and so forth. I found, unfortunately, in the church as a pastor, that women many times, not all the time, but women mostly work better than men. Not saying that guys don't. We have some great guys in our church who work great and faithfully serve, but I'm saying that women seem to work better. We see it all through the Bible. We see it with Jesus, where women followed him. And I found the men who get jealous are the men who are not doing anything or looking to complain. You see, you're going to find that a woman is quick to jump on something because it's just her nature. It's built into her. But at the same time, it doesn't take away the responsibility as we as men being faithful and serving our families and serving God. Even if we bring in less, we still make that money so we also can look after our families, live together, and live together in peace. So I say this to you, hey guys, if your lady makes more and she's deserving of it, hey, let her enjoy herself, providing again, that the family is taken care of. Well, thank you once again for being a part of Understanding the Times podcast. I hope this has been a little input into your life, guys, because we all need to grow together when it comes to the things of God. In Understanding the Times podcast, we get out there and we speak of the issues that deal with Christian men today. And other men are welcome to come in. You can go to manlikeradio.com, manlikeradio.com, where you can get all the other podcasts and also download and listen to other podcasts we've previously done. Thank you once again for being a part of this Understand the Times podcast. I'll talk to you next time.